Exotic used to mean unattainable. 6 figures minimum, waiting lists, dealer markup. But the used market tells a different story. Some of the most genuinely exotic cars ever built, carbon fiber tubs, hand-assembled engines, race-derived architecture, have depreciated hard enough that they now sit in a normal person's budget. This isn't a list of sporty cars pretending to be exotic. Every car here has a legitimate claim to the word. Here are 7 affordable exotic cars that punch way above their price, starting with the most expensive and getting cheaper as we go. And to be clear about the rules, every car on this list has to have genuinely exotic engineering underneath it, not just a badge that sounds exotic. And every one of them has to be findable on the used market right now for less than a well-optioned family SUV. First up is the Alfa Romeo 4C, and it might be the most technically exotic car on this entire list despite being the newest. Underneath that tiny Italian body is a genuine carbon fiber monocoque tub, the exact kind of construction used in Formula 1 and hypercars like the McLaren P1. And it was built in Modena, at the same Maserati plant that also assembles the GranTurismo. Prices haven't dropped as hard as the rest of this list. Low production numbers and rising collector interest mean a clean 4C now starts around €55,000. For that, you get 237 horsepower from a 1.75-liter turbo 4, but a curb weight around 1,100 kilos means it doesn't need more. The catch is real: no power steering, a rough ride, and a cabin trimmed in what feels like economy car plastic. But that carbon tub is not a gimmick. It's the real thing, at a price no other carbon tub car on the road gets close to. Total worldwide production was capped at around 3,500 units a year, which is part of why values have held up better here than anywhere else on this list. Drop down and you land on the first-generation Bentley Continental GT, a car that originally cost more than €150,000 and now starts around $40,000 for early examples. Under that enormous hood is a hand-built 6-liter twin-turbo W12 producing 552 horsepower, each engine assembled by hand in Crewe over roughly 7 hours from 2,600 separate components. Good for a 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds and a top speed near 320 kilometers per hour. It's all-wheel drive, it's genuinely quick, and it's finished with hand-stitched leather that costs more to produce than some entire cars on this list. The catch is what you'd expect. Parts and servicing carry a Bentley price tag regardless of what you paid for the car, and the W12's complexity means major work isn't cheap. Buy the service history, not just the badge. And the W12 architecture itself is clever engineering, not just brute force. It's essentially 2 narrow-angle V6 engines sharing a single crankshaft, which makes it about a quarter shorter than a conventional V12 of the same displacement, letting Bentley fit it under a relatively compact hood. Still want an Italian V8 without Ferrari money? The Maserati GranTurismo is arguably the easiest car on this list to justify. Its 4.2 or 4.7-liter V8 wasn't built by Maserati at all. It was designed and built by Ferrari, from the same engine family used in the Alfa Romeo 8C. Prices for early examples start around €37,000, a steep drop from an original sticker price north of $110,000. For that, you get a genuine 4-seat Grand Tourer with Pininfarina-designed bodywork and a V8 that revs and sounds like nothing else in this price range. The catch is that depreciation cuts both ways. Parts still carry exotic car pricing, and owners report values keep falling even after purchase, so budget for ownership costs, not just the buy-in. One owner described it plainly: stunning looks, incredible ride, and depreciation bad enough to make your wallet cringe. The Aston Martin DB9 might be the most classically exotic-looking car on this list, and it's also one of the cheapest ways into a hand-built V12. Built at Aston's Gaydon facility from 2004 onward, its 6-liter V12 was assembled largely by hand, and used examples now start around €35,000, a fraction of an original price that topped $200,000. With 450 to 510 horsepower depending on year, near-perfect 50-50 weight distribution, and styling that still looks current 2 decades later, it's an easy case for affordable exotic. The catch is maintenance. Owners have reported catastrophic catalytic converter failures and expensive parts, and this is a car where skipping a service interval can cost thousands. Buy from a specialist, not a bargain listing. For something that looks like it drove straight out of a concept car stage, there's the BMW i8. It's a genuinely mid-engine hybrid supercar with a carbon fiber reinforced plastic passenger cell, the same construction philosophy used in Formula One survival cells, paired with scissor doors and a combined 357 horsepower from a 3-cylinder engine and an electric motor. Originally priced from around €137,000, clean examples now start around $33,000. It'll do 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in about 4.4 seconds and can run on electric power alone for city driving. The catch is that BMW never intended it to feel or sound like a traditional supercar. The 3-cylinder engine's note divides opinion, and it's genuinely slower in a straight line than most cars on this list. But nothing else here gets you a carbon fiber tub and a plug-in hybrid drivetrain for this money. It was also assembled using entirely renewable energy at BMW's Leipzig plant, which was a genuinely unusual production commitment for a car in this price bracket back when it launched. Sixth is the Mercedes-Benz SL55 AMG, and this one comes with genuine supercar DNA hiding under a luxury convertible body. Its supercharged 5.4-liter V8 shares its basic architecture with the engine block used in the Mercedes-McLaren SLR, a car that cost roughly 10 times as much when new. Early SL55s originally sold for over €110,000 and now start around $20,000 for 493 to 517 horsepower and a 0 to 100 in around 4.5 seconds. The catch is Mercedes' notoriously complex active body control suspension, which uses hydraulic struts that are expensive to repair when they fail. And on a car this age, they usually do eventually. Budget for that repair before you budget for the car. And finally, the cheapest way onto this entire list, the Jaguar XKR. Built with a supercharged V8, making anywhere from 370 to over 500 horsepower depending on generation, the XKR looks and drives like a proper British Grand Tourer because it is one. Jaguar's flagship coupe for over a decade. Nationwide average prices sit around 17 to 18,000 euros, with rough examples dipping into single digits. For that, you get supercar-adjacent power in a genuinely luxurious cabin. The catch, unsurprisingly, is Jaguar's reputation for electrical gremlins and expensive parts sourcing, since these were never sold in the volumes a Mercedes or BMW was. But horsepower per euro, nothing else on this list touches it. So there you have it. 7 cars that were genuinely exotic when new and are genuinely affordable now. From a carbon tub Alfa built alongside Maseratis, to a supercharged Jaguar that costs less than a used sedan. None of them are cheap to maintain, but all of them are cheap to buy, and that's the whole premise of this list. If there's one thing all 7 prove, it's that depreciation on exotic engineering is really just an opportunity in disguise, as long as you go in with your eyes open about running costs. Which one would you actually take the risk on? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.